Is with Deputy James Browne.
Thank you, Seán Canney. Can I ask the Minister for Communications and Environment the position regarding the rollout of the National Broadband Plan in County Wexford?
Minister. Thank you, Deputy. The National Broadband Plan aims to ensure that every home, school and business in Ireland, regardless of how remote or rural, has access to high-speed broadband. This has been achieved through a combination of commercial investment across Ireland and a state intervention in those areas, mostly rural areas, where commercial operators acting alone are unlikely to invest. Since December 2015, a number of premises with access to high-speed broadband in Wexford have increased by over 17,000, a 44% increase. In total, the number of premises in Wexford with access to high-speed broadband is over 58,000, 71% of the total premises in Wexford. Another 2,300 will be served by the AIR planned rural deployment. The remaining 22 homes, schools and businesses in Wexford will be connected under the Government's National Broadband Plan. In April 2017, the Department published an updated high-speed broadband map, which is available at www.broadband.gov.ie. This map shows the areas targeted by commercial operators to provide high-speed broadband services, and the areas that will be included in the state intervention area under the National Broadband Plan. The map is colour-coded and searchable by address or area code. The procurement process to appoint a bidder for the state intervention network is now at a final stage. The priority is to bring the procurement process to a fair and impartial conclusion as quickly as possible. The Department will now conclude its assessment of the final tender submission received from the bidders on the 18th September 2018 and a recommendation will be brought to Government, to the Cabinet in the coming weeks.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy Browne.
Thank you, Minister. I ask this question because of the very, very deep frustration felt by the people in the county of Wexford in not being able to access fibre broadband in the rural areas. Obviously, fibre broadband is key to bridging the digital divide between rural Ireland and urban Ireland. And whether it's individual people in their houses, people trying to access information for children doing their homework, whether it's applying for medical cards, or whether it's people trying to set up a business, or whether it's farming communities who need broadband to develop efficiency in their farms, to develop health and safety procedures in the farms, because a lot of farmers these days are working alone on the farms. They don't have anybody helping them, and having access to broadband allows them to actually put in health and safety facilities into their farms. So it's a matter of deep, deep frustration for the people in Wexford, as is across the country. And I understand the programme for government that proposes that every house and every business in Ireland is to have broadband by 2020. Can you confirm, Minister, is this still the plan?
Well, first of all, Deputy, from TD in a rural part of the country myself, I do understand the frustrations, and I do understand that everybody accepts that broadband is an essential, as was water, electricity and sewerage. Broadband is now an essential in every home. The Government's commitment is to provide broadband into every house. The tender process, as I said, is coming to a conclusion. And that is being the final evaluation is happening with that, and that will be concluded in the coming weeks, and Minister Browne will be bringing a report to Cabinet on that from once that is completed. It is my hope that we will reach the targets as we've set out, and what we have to do is we have to work towards that. But just to say, progress is being made and has been made, not for everybody, and that is the problem. And the Deputy will be aware of that as well. And when you look at the figures for Wexford, a number of houses, the percentages have gone up, but still we have a lot of people who don't have it, and that's what we're trying to fill in these gaps.
Deputy Browne.
Thank you, Minister. The percentages have gone up because of commercial operators. Where I'm concerned is about the rural areas where the commercial operators have said they are not going to go in. Now, the contract was supposed to be signed, the tender, in the summer of 2017. That obviously has been set way behind. But I want to know, does the Minister still believe that every house and every business in rural Ireland will be connected to broadband by 2020? Is it still on schedule, Minister? Do you believe it's on schedule or not? It's very simple.
Sure. Thank you, Cathaoirleach. First of all, just to be very exact about it, the final tender bid came in September of this year. It is probably one of the single biggest tenders we're going to have in the state for a long, long time. So we want to make sure that the evaluation process is correct and that the value for money is there and that it's a fair contract for everybody. That's the first step. And as part of that tender, the rollout of it will be also the timing of that. So I'm not going to say to you exactly when it's going to be done until the tender process evaluation is complete and until a report is brought to government on it. But we will be working towards doing that, and I'm sure everybody in the House is hoping that that is what will happen as well. Thank you.